Welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors, a podcast for home improvement contractors to help you crush your lead goals and take your business to the next level. Join us each episode as we give you powerful insights and practical tips on the best digital marketing strategies to help you grow your home improvement business. Let's get started.
Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing for Contractors. This is the podcast where we break down smart, scalable marketing tactics that work for home improvement companies. My name is Janet, and I'm the founder of Fat Cat Strategies.
And I'm Caitlin, the head of client services here at Fat Cat. Today's episode is a fun one. We're going to dive into something as simple as a gift card and how it can actually become a powerful marketing tool for your contracting business. So, Janet, who are we joined by?
Today, we are so excited to welcome Evan Crum. He is the sales executive from PerfectGift.com. Evan and his team, let's see, what does Evan do? I'm reading, obviously, off of a script here. We're going to leave that in. Evan and his team help businesses use gift cards for everything from lead generation to closing deals and even retaining employees. Evan, why don't you do a better job of telling everybody what you do than I just did?
Yeah, that's all right. No, appreciate it. Hi, everyone. Like they said, the name's Evan Crum. What does Perfect Gift do? What do I do? So I help those in this amazing home remodeling, roofing, I guess we'll say home improvement industry, utilize the power of gifts or the power of gift cards to retain customers, reward customers, retain and reward employees, even offering safety awards, incentivizing customers and clients as well. And that is what I do in the industry and how I work with others in home improvement.
That's so awesome. I mean, and I know through different partners that we've connected with, they recommended you guys. I think it's a gorgeous add-on service, not only to what we do digitally, but like in-house. I mean, that's where you and I connected. I was like, our contractors who we work with every single day are looking for incentives for their employees who take good job site photos.
Yep.
Who help generate reviews.
Yeah, who help generate reviews.
Yeah. Incentivizing reviews is huge. You know, I just came back last week from the Dave Yoho conference out in St. Louis, where a lot of it was geared towards sales leads, how to generate leads and how to generate reviews, and with Dave Yoho's sales strategies. And we fit really well into that, or any sales strategies. As you said, incentivizing someone to leave a review is huge. Twofold on that, because number one, you're getting your reviews up. So whether you can direct them towards Google, Yelp, Home Advisor, whatever. But number two, if you happen to have a bad review, it now gives you a reason to contact that person and try to address whatever the reason the bad review is. Because the person obviously wants a gift card, that's why they're leaving a review. But if it's bad, you can contact them. So incentivizing reviews is absolutely a huge part of the business, as our employee rewards, as our giving, employees rewards as part of brand ambassadors, or just thanking people, etc.
That's awesome.
So, why don't you walk us through, like, explain it to somebody like they have no idea how this works. In this scene, I'll play the owner of a roofing company, and I just heard about PerfectGift.com, and I'm thinking about doing some sort of gift card for customers that have just installed a job. I mean, would that be a good use case scenario?
Yeah, it would. It would. Actually, there was a roofer I was talking to. They're out in Tennessee, where what they do is they're going to give their team, I think they're $50 visas or $100 Visa cards with their logo on there. We can do that complimentary, by the way. But they're giving them to houses next door. Because I haven't heard of this.
It's like a canvassing tactic.
Exactly. So one, they're doing it as a canvassing, but two is like, hey, we apologize for the noise during the day.
Beautiful.
Here's $50 on us. Never thought of that. So that is unique. So from a roofing point of view, every roofer out there, take that for what it is. It is. I will give them all the credit in the world. To answer your question, yeah, it is really, you said you wanted to use it for incentivizing customers.
Sure.
Or for thanking them?
I mean, I just want listeners to understand. I always like to play kind of the slow class, like if I'm driving in my truck and I'm not really paying attention, break it down to me like I'm a 3-year-old. So let's roll with this whole scenario where I've got a roofing company. I'm going to start this canvassing campaign. My guys are going to knock, 3 doors up, 3 doors down and across the street. Now they're armed with these gift cards. How how does that get set up? Do I have to pre-fund them?
Yeah, great
What are
question.
the logistics and the mechanics of that?
We're jumping right into it.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it. So first off, there will never be a purchase necessary to create an account with us.
That's right.
So that is completely free. You create an account. All we would need to get an account rolling is the official business name, the official EIN for that business, and the business address. Once you're approved, you get your username and your password. From there, you can order on a dashboard. You have your own dashboard. If you wanted to order a Visa or Mastercard with co-branding, you would simply submit the co-brand, the bank approves it, and then we print them out the same exact day. We can ship them out the same day as well in our fulfillment center in Pittsburgh. By the way, I know we're tariff free because all of our stuff is made in Pittsburgh, all of our gift cards. I'm kind of kidding, but we are.
Co-branding would be like if I was a deck company and I'm installing Trex, and Trex gave me some joint marketing dollars.
So as an example, I'll cover the number as best.
You love an example.
This is what it would look like. I'm going to cover this number to be PCI compliant.
Chad, we're going to need to blur that number out.
Yeah, but this is what it would look like as an example. I handed those out at the show last week.
Brilliant.
Also, but to answer your question, Janet, is it pre-funded? So the way that we operate is yes, they would need to purchase the cards up front for us to deliver the product.
Okay.
So we don't have like any terms like that. However, with Visa, Mastercard, we can do denominations as low as $5 up to $10,000. We have no minimum order. So even if you were a roofer that wanted to get a customer a $5,000 Visa card or $5,000 Mastercard, you can do that. We also have our retail gift cards. Those are discounted. So we represent over 300 brands, meaning there's a lot of home remodelers and others that are in like Home Depots or Lowe's. They can actually purchase Home Depot or Lowe's gift cards from us. We provide a discount on that purchase, and they can hand those out either physical or electronic.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. And then finally, one of the new products that we have is something called PerfectGift Plus, which I absolutely love. So a PerfectGift Plus is there's no fees associated to that like Visa or MasterCard. For Visa and MasterCard have activation fees. With PerfectGift Plus, if you wanted to give someone, say, a $50 PerfectGift Plus credit, that individual can choose, it's the power of choice. They can choose between a Visa and MasterCard themselves. This is for the recipient. They can choose over 300 retail cards and link it directly to their debit card or put it in their phone. Or they can deposit the money into Zelle. So it's really the power of choice for them.
Which is great.
So that's good from a canvassing point of view also, where if you aren't sure if somebody's going to want Starbucks or if they're going to want cash,
right?
Gift Plus.
So that kind of answers my next question a little bit, is like, why not just go to a grocery store and pick up a bunch of Visa gift cards? I mean, or Lowe's gift cards. I mean,
that's an outstanding question. So number one, for Visa and MasterCard, our activation fees are typically going to be lower than going to a Walmart or, here in Chicago, a Jewel or a Publix out in Florida, or I don't know what you guys have out in North Carolina.
Lowe's.
We got rid of Winn-Dixie.
I think if you're in a small town, you can still find a Winn-Dixie.
Probably. Winn-Dixies there were a lot of them. But so number one, our activation fees are significantly lower. You are typically getting charged between $4.95 to $6.95 for an activation fee on that Visa Mastercard that you're purchasing from a store. That's number one.
I knew that.
I didn't either. That's fantastic.
Yeah, typically, you do have exceptions.
You can absorb it, or the recipient.
Correct.
It, like either way. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Number two, from a support aspect, you have a total team that's behind me. So my colleagues that are on our team, we all work with each other. So when someone is out of the office and a client calls in, we are directly responsible for that client. So you have a whole entire team. And we also have a customer service team that's 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter when you call, they can help you out. Again, you're going to the store, picking up a card. You might be calling Visa or whoever that distributor is, and they might not have that support.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I liked the user experience from your portal perspective. I mean, obviously with
You mean as a business owner
Yeah,
to
like-
use it as a marketing or
yeah,
employee
being
incentive
able to
program?
track things. I mean, very easy to use. I thought that was, in my opinion, I mean, I would use
so
that just
if somebody was going to use we're in North Carolina, Harris Teeter, and buy a bunch of, let's
Gift
say,
cards.
Starbucks gift cards
Right.
to reward safety on the job. Caitlin, I think your point is there's no tracking dashboard for that.
No,
No.
I love it. I
You don't
love
know if they got used. They don't know if they got lost.
No.
Yeah, with Starbucks, the usage is we'd have to reach out to Starbucks directly, but we can do it. I also really want to stress the security aspect.
Yes.
Because as we know in my industry, there's a lot of fraud, a lot of bad actors out there, unfortunately.
Yes.
We pride ourselves on, number one, ensuring that if there are fraudulent attempts that are made, that we shut them down. So it doesn't happen often, but it's happened. But number two, from a security aspect, since we are program managers for Visa and Mastercard, those cards are housed in our fulfillment center in Pittsburgh. As I said, they are housed in a vault. You need 2 people to go into the vault. Fraud's not going to happen that way. So we're able to track those. From Starbucks or any other retail cards, same thing, where we have these cards. So one of my clients reached out to me when we were beginning our conversation, and it's not in the remodeling world, but they said, hey, we usually buy McDonald's cards from a company, but they're resold McDonald's cards, meaning that in my industry, there are some companies, nothing wrong with it, but some companies will buy McDonald's cards off market from someone else and then resell the McDonald's cards at margin.
Yep.
Completely fine. It really is not a big deal. But unfortunately, one of the problems with that is that sometimes those gift cards might have been used. And the reseller is not sure because they're not going to go through all 100 or how many McDonald's cards they get. So the client stated to me, well, how can you ensure that these McDonald's cards haven't been redeemed? And I said, well, we can ensure that because, number one, we are getting them either from McDonald's themselves in this example, or we might be getting them from one of our qualified partners that supply McDonald's possibly to the grocery stores. But that is the benefit of running it through us. Plus, I mean, the customization, you're able to put your logo. You can't do that over at Walmart. You're not going to go to Walmart and say, put my logo on this Visa card, because they're going to look at you like you're crazy.
Right.
You can do that through us, whether it's physical or electronic.
So if I kind of extrapolate from what you just said, if you've got a home improvement company that has an idea to use some sort of gift cards and they don't know you guys exist and they go onto some aftermarket and buy a big batch of cards, I believe what you're saying is there's a risk that some of those cards have been redeemed. And then if you're using them as part of some sort of campaign, it's a tarnish on your brand. Now you've done this canvassing, door knocking. Hey, sorry for the mess. And then the customer or the prospect or the homeowner goes to try to redeem this thing and it doesn't work. And then you kind of look like.
Correct. And sometimes the other company doesn't even know. So I'm not throwing that company under the bus. There might be a security aspect where those were a batch of cards that got hacked. They don't know that. They're not sure. And so now when somebody goes to try it, now that customer will be angry at the remodeling company, who's then angry at the company providing it. Now that company is providing it kind of says, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That does not happen with us. So we can ensure we definitely I want to emphasize that we are very secure.
Yes.
And again, since we don't have minimum orders, they can order 1 or 2 to test it out.
Oh, I love that. Oh. And so easy to use.
And I like the small dollar amount.
I do too.
I mean, if you wanted to do like $3 or do like a let us buy you a coffee campaign.
Right, exactly.
You could do it at scale.
Yep.
You're not giving $500 away at a time.
No, you can do it at scale, Ben, especially where if you're like, look, I know my clients like Starbucks or Dunkin'. Number one, we can provide a discount on Starbucks or Dunkin'.
Oh.
But which, depends on, every brand is different. But number two, if you wanted to give straight Visa or Mastercard, or like I said, PerfectGift Plus, where they can actually link their Starbucks or Dunkin' card to their debit card or their app. It's a really nice campaign to have. Let us buy coffee. On top of that, what I will say is another good campaign would be to ensure that that homeowner or both decision makers are present, making sure they're not one-leg appointments.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Because unfortunately, and we know this because I heard it at Yoho.
Oh, yeah.
When they joked around, I think that Chris Cunningham was the one that was talking about it. I think, don't quote me on that, but I think is that he said that the marketing people are upset at the salespeople, who are upset at the canvassers, who are upset at the appointment makers, and the appointment makers are at the door right now, knocking on the door, saying to the center, "Yeah, just book them, right? Now the salesperson goes out there. You expect to last an hour to 3 hours of their time. They get out there, and the decision maker's like, I told them that this is not a good time. My husband or my wife isn't around, but come on in. So now you're dealing with a one-leg appointment.
Right.
Here's how you can change that with the power of gift cards, is saying both homeowners need to be present, or both decision makers need to be present. And if they're both present, you're going to receive X.
Love it.
Perfect.
And that pretty much ensures that both will be there. Now, again, kind of up to the salesperson how they want to run the appointment, but it helps the appointment maker, because they're saying, is this person going to be here, both of them, so they don't get in trouble? The salesperson has a qualified lead because both homeowners are going to be present, and then the marketing people are going to be happy because it's a qualified lead. So it kind of just
trickles through the whole
trickles
system.
down. Yeah.
Do you have any other examples of how contractors are using PerfectGift.com for lead generation?
Yeah, I know that Window Nation has used us for lead generation. They use us continually for lead generation. Power Home, it's more of a, if you contact us, receive X.
That's exactly,
Okay.
and that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, it's
Just
part of the
really
website
simple.
offer.
Yeah. Power Home
Innovation.
remodeling.
Yep.
Power Home is not my account, but they've been using us for a long time. I can't give you the specifics because I don't know the specifics, but I do know Power Home remodeling uses us. And then I'm trying to think of some of my other clients that are just out there. Window Depot. I work with Window Depots. One of them out in Youngstown, where again he's using us to incentivize reviews, and also from an acquisition side.
Okay.
And then we have so many commercial roofing companies, which I know doesn't, I'll just use them as an example. They use them more specifically as employee rewards and safety. Because for commercial, you don't really need to do that, create a call to action kind of thing. Because, they're commercial roofers. They're going to get jobs, unlike saying knocking on doors. But with commercial roofers, they want to reward their employees. And a lot of roofers that work with us specifically will use us to reward their employees. Safety awards, employee incentives, rewarding employee referrals. So that's how the commercial world works with us.
So on the employee referrals, I'm going off of what you said.
Yeah, you're okay.
So if I've got, say, 5 sales reps or just anybody who works for me, and you have a campaign that says, if you refer somebody that turns into an appointment, or you refer somebody that turns into a quote, you can receive this $500, whatever the gift amount is. And then you can track that, whether or not they used it.
Exactly. Yep. You can track it through your dashboard, or even asking us. We do have some card holder privacy stuff, so we can't tell you where they used it, right? Because again, that's based off of privacy.
Right.
But you can say, yes, it's used. No, it's not used. And one thing that I know you like, Caitlin, was that the funds don't expire.
Yes.
So here's what I mean by that. Typically, we're going to use Janet as an example, because she was driving her truck roofer. Canvasser hands out a $100 Visa card for an appointment, or $50, whatever. 12-month expiration date, or what we call a valid through date. Month 14, month 15 rolls around. That person now finds their Visa card again.
Right.
Now they're like, oh no, it's expired. So they can do 2 things with our company. Number one, they can call us directly.
Okay.
Say, hey, I have a $50 Visa card. It expired. And we'll say, okay, we're going to send you the remainder of your funds, less $5, because we have to mail it out. So you're going to get $45 in another Visa card. Number 2, from the admin's end, if they get contacted by the customer, they can actually go onto their dashboard, hit replace card. And then again, either they will get charged $5, or if the company wants to eat it, like the home improvement company wants to eat the $5 because they don't want it to less from the recipient's debit card, they can. We do not sweep funds. So again, so let's say we're going to use the $50 again as an example. Other providers will sit and say, okay, it's expired. So let's see, 3 or 4 months, we're going to charge fees. So now when you try and get your card or funds, they'll probably give it to you. But instead of having $50, you might have $43.50.
Okay.
And then you say, why do I have that? And they say, well, because it expired, we had to sweep the funds. So we do not do that. We don't sweep funds. So those funds are yours.
That's fantastic. No, I mean, everything about Perfect Gift, it seems like a no-brainer. What about any cool like integrations? Like, do you have any like secret technology that works with your dashboard or anything like that?
We definitely are connected via API. So we can always connect with anyone's API. Secret technology that I'm integrated with, not really.
That's
I'm not integrated with like I mean, we run through HubSpot, but we're not integrated like that. But again, I'm sure that there's brilliant people out there way smarter than me in the tech world that can go ahead and figure out a way to connect to their.
Do you have an
CRM.
API?
We do have an API.
So like if somebody wanted to like set something up between their
Correct.
CRM, awesome.
Yeah, we can. We have an API. I think we have an open API. And then anyone that has questions about it, I can always get them in touch with our developers to have a conversation about API integration. But yes, we are very API integrated with a lot of clients.
That's amazing. I mean, especially for some of the clients you named, you probably have to be. Success stories. Like, tell us, do you have any fun examples of how these Perfect Gift cards have worked?
Yeah, like I said, Window Nation is very successful. With them. I've worked with Home Genius Exteriors briefly. I'm going to be working with All American Roofers, with Corey Minzik over there in her call center. So they're going to be using it in their call center. I've had success.
How are they using it? Yeah, that's what I'm interested in, like the different use cases.
Yeah, so specifically in a call center, they're going to use it to reward the reps.
Okay,
in terms of like speed to call.
Yep.
How they doing? Good reviews, incentives.
So that's a really good way to kind of underline and reinforce. I know there's so much training that goes on in the home improvement industry with, once you get to scale and you've got a really well-oiled machine, you're always tweaking your scripts and like KPIs. And so I love that. So you can almost kind of gamify your call center to try to encourage people to implement any training or new scripts or new messages.
You can also gamify them to do that one call close. Get the person there right away. Hey, whoever gets a one call close today gets a $500 Visa card or whatever. I'm just making a number.
Right.
In terms of success stories, I mean, I have a success story from outside the industry if you want me to. Yeah. So I have two. One is with a company called Spark Electricity, where they specifically needed a platform to refund over 17,000 residents in Maine, based off of the Maine Compliance Board, to send refunds back to them. And they did not have the provider they were going to use fell through. And we stepped up to the plate, and we're now going to be having our second run of mailing out 17,500 Visa cards of varying amounts, as low as $5 up to $3,000 to 17,500 households across Maine. And this is the second time we're doing that. So that's the first success story that I have. That's my account. And then I would be remiss if I don't talk about what happened in my community. I live in Elk Grove Village, which is a suburb of Chicago. And Elk Grove Village is very, very business friendly and very resident friendly. So here's why I'm saying that. Right after COVID, around 21, 22, Elk Grove Village wanted to provide residents with a Visa card. And they contacted Perfect Gift. This is before I even started. They contacted Perfect Gift, and we were able to distribute twice $200 Visa cards to all 14,000 residents in Elk Grove. Wow. So not only did it help reward the residents, but on the co-branding, it said Shop Local Elk Grove with the Elk Grove symbol on there. And it was really powerful because when I received it as a resident, This is before I even knew about Perfect Gift. I received it as a resident. I'm like, this is really cool. I'm going to spend locally because it was spend local.
Yeah.
So that's another one of our, I mean, we have so many success stories, but specifically I like to talk about that one because I had a actual resident experience using the cards. I wasn't just selling them because I didn't know the company at the time. It wasn't until later I'm like, I'm from Elk Grove. And they said, yeah, Elk Grove. Funny you say Elk Grove. They're one of our big clients. I'm like, oh.
That's
But
awesome.
those are two of the bigger success stories
So
that we
it
have.
sounds like creativity, like if you can think of it and you want to implement a reward program or a refund
Correct.
program or an incentive program,
Correct.
and you need a way to easily manage
Yep.
distributing funds.
Disbursement.
Any don'ts, like any like
That's a great
yeah,
question.
like any like finger wags for passing out gift cards?
Yeah, well, a couple finger wags is if if you're mainly doing stuff with giving out for restaurants, like Visa cards for restaurants, just let them know, or let the recipient know. We have this actually on a custom carrier as well, but let the recipient know that there's sometimes a 20% hold, gratuity hold, based off the point of sale system they're using. So that's kind of a, I don't want to say a don't, but more of a restaurant thing of, hey, let the recipient know if they're going to a restaurant that there might be a 20% hold. Again, we explain that in our terms and conditions, so this isn't like whacking somebody upside the head, but I always like to advise people. Don'ts, I mean, I can definitely give don'ts on when if you're receiving a call from someone and they ask you for gift cards to help get them out of jail or something, that is probably a scam. Be very careful with AI, because AI has gotten very smart in this world.
Yes.
Phishing as well.
Yep.
So I definitely know like security tips, but in terms of don'ts, the cool thing about our products is that they're so flexible that they can be used for, I mean, pretty much anything. One other example before I lose it, I am also working with Bath Makeover of Arkansas, where they're using a $200 Visa card for customer acquisition. They've been very successful with that. So
I've seen it.
How's that program work? Is it
TV commercials?
TV, so they're running through Ron Sherman Advertising.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ron Sherman Advertising actually met Abe face to face last week, and Ron Jumper, and if you are not familiar with Ron Sherman Advertising out of Little Rock, they're great at what they do. They produce the commercials, and all the commercials always have a call to action, whether it's a Visa card, a restaurant card, a Starbucks card, whatever, 60, 60, 60 sale, you name it. So specifically, they'll say either the first 50 homeowners, or if you call within the next whatever, you will receive a $200 Visa card.
Got it.
And they've increased their appointments due to that.
I bet. Yeah, we usually always try to match those Ron Sherman offers on the client's website. So not only is it on the TV, but then we're taking that offer, putting it on the website, like, hey, act now, get this $200 gift card. So
yeah, it's really creating that sense of urgency, which is what incentives can be used for, and really that drive home to get that person to respond, because it's all about getting those good qualified leads, which again leads back to ensuring both homeowners are present,
right,
and not running a one-leg appointment,
right?
Because I hear a lot of complaints about that in the industry, about just you're wasting my salespeople's time.
Oh yeah, it's just incredibly expensive for the business.
Super.
And the homeowners, they don't understand that.
No,
they don't understand the cost to the business. Like, oh, I just want to see colors, I want to see samples, I'm going to take up half your afternoon, but then at the end of the appointment say, well, I can't make a decision because my spouse, whichever, my spouse, partner, co-homeowner is not here.
happens all the time.
This has been so insightful. We love offering our clients tools like PerfectGift.com. I hope our listeners have picked up a lot of great tips and tricks. You guys are the best in terms of what you do. That's why I wanted to have you guys on. Final words, where can we learn more? How can listeners connect with you? Yeah,
so the best way to connect with me, obviously, if you go to PerfectGift.com, you can learn a lot. But my recommendation is I'm going to offer a special for everybody. So first off, let's go over how to contact me. And I don't know if you guys are going to put my contact information in the podcast. Do you want me to give you my phone number, or?
Go ahead and shout it out.
All of it. Shout it out, and we'll
shout it out. Awesome.
Show notes.
So
Dang it.
I don't have that, but I have a business card, but it will be reversed. So the best way to reach me is you can always give me a call at 412-903-3758, which is my work phone number. Again, I am in Chicago, so I'm Central Time Zone. Or email me at Evan, EVAN, .crum, CRUM, M as in Mike, at PerfectGift.com. The offer is going to be this. Any of the orders I will, for physical cards, I can offer free shipping. Just name drop that you listen to the amazing podcast by both these lovely ladies. And that's how you found us. For any electronic orders or digital orders, or especially Perfect Gift Plus orders, depending on the order size, I'll go as low as $25 to $50 in Perfect Gift Plus, pretty much free credit. And then again, if we're talking about a large order where we're going like $5,000 or $10,000, I will think of something very unique and special for that, in addition to free shipping or anything else.
So
That's amazing.
What listeners should do, if you're interested and you think a gift card could help with some sort of campaign that you want to run, whether it's lead acquisition, nurturing, referrals,
in-house
employee rewards.
Employee rewards. You need to contact Evan. We will put all of his information in the show notes. And if you mention Fat Cats podcast, you're going to get the offers that Evan just outlined.
Correct. Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, Evan, I do appreciate your time.
Sure. Thank
this
you.
was great. I learned a lot.
I love this. Love this tool. We will definitely be in touch. Janet, you want to take us out?
Yes. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Digital Marketing for Contractors. As always, we hope you got value for it. If you can give us a half an hour, our job is to give you some actionable tips, tricks, and insights that will help you grow your home improvement business through online marketing.
Digital Marketing for Contractors is created by Fat Cat Strategies. For more information, visit fatcatstrategies.com.